Good evening, and thank you for joining the Candid Conversation Show. My name is Muriel, and we are real sisters sharing real stories within our community. We have a great show in store for you this evening. Our topic is on health and wellness, specifically on women's health. Our guest tonight is our Haitian sister, Vanessa Dieujuste.
Hello. Vanessa, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You have such a powerful story and testimony, and we want to get to know all about you. Can you please tell us about your childhood?
All right, my name is Vanessa Dicujuste. I am from Belle Glade, Florida. Okay. I was born and raised in Belle Glade. I migrated to Orlando about 8 years ago after high school. My childhood is very interesting. I grew up in a home, mother, stepfather who raised me. Growing up, I dealt with some domestic violence, as far as not necessarily physical, but more verbal.
Okay.
But what the part that really got to me is the abuse of being in the home of migrating parents during camp in Georgia. I was raped by several men, but that was something I had to live with, but I had to forgive my abusers. So. I went to Glade Central High School. I'm on the Raiders. And then I moved to Orlando when I was 17. I was like, I have to leave, But that's pretty much my childhood.
Okay. All right. Gosh, what about where were you born? In Belle Glade?
Yes, I was
born in Belle Glade.
Well, actually, I was born in Pahokee, Florida.
Okay. Pahokee.
Pahokee, Florida is like 10 minutes. Because at the time, I guess, Belle Glade didn't have the hospital. So I was born in Pahokee, Florida, yes.
Okay. And how about your family life? How was that?
My family life, I grew up in a Haitian home. They call it La Caille L'Église.
The 3 L's.
The 3 L's. My mom, she worked very, very, very hard. Her and my stepfather, they worked in the cornfield for quite a few. They migrated to Georgia every May to July. But after my mom had her last child, she stopped and she got a full-time job locally. So she's been there for about 15 years now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. A Haitian household.
The 3 L's, I love it.
For La Caille L'Église. That's it.
You have been diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Can you tell us what exactly that is?
Okay, so polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, is a syndrome that I was diagnosed when I was 16 years old. At the time, I didn't know what it was. My doctor was like, okay, you have PCOS. And I was like, okay. And I just went with it. Right. I was like, okay, whatever. But as I was growing up, I started to have the facial hair, and I became insulin resistant, and I started to gain so much weight that I couldn't lose. Everybody like, well, just go run. I was like, it's not easy.
Just go run.
It is not easy. So what happened was I started to research what is PCOS. So PCOS, my doctor was explaining to me that your ovaries produce 1 to 2 eggs on each side every month, every menstrual cycle.
Okay.
Well, my ovaries was producing 12, 13 different eggs, and they weren't getting the right amount of hormones in each. So what happens is it's not mature enough to release to ovulate. So I'm not ovulating, which caused me not to have a menses every month.
Oh, really?
So I will go years with no period.
Really?
Yes, and he was like, oh, it's fine. I was like, no, you're supposed to have a menstrual cycle.
Right.
So that led me to not knowing when, because you can ovulate and not know it.
Okay.
You can get pregnant and not know it.
Okay.
And you can have no period. So with PCOS, it was affected my mental health, my hormones,
Everything.
and everything was just off for years and years and years until I started to get down to the research. So that's what PCOS is, pretty much.
You said you've got to get to the bottom of it.
Yes, got to get to the bottom of PCOS, what it is, and then I started doing research, and then I met a doctor here in Orlando.
Okay.
And that's where
Everything, all the
your treatment and everything started.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I began to have treatment. First, they started me off on metformin because I was insulin resistant, which is metformin
It's
actually
for diabetes.
helps with diabetes, right?
Yes.
So you tell somebody on metformin, they're like, "You
What?
have diabetes?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I don't have diabetes. It's to help me treat with my PCOS." And then he had me on different medication. I was trying to do it without medication.
Okay.
So I started drinking these different type of teas and started working out, starting to juice more. It helped me mentally, but it still wasn't getting the job done for me. So that's where I'm at now.
So you did name some of the symptoms, and that is no periods,
Yes.
the facial hairs.
Yes.
Any other symptoms that you can?
Well, the black line around the neck and
Okay.
the armpits.
Black.
So if you can see, I call it the black line. There's a medical terminology name for it.
Okay.
But I just call it the black line around the neck. Insulin resistant. You have the acne. The big thing, the facial hair for me.
That's
was
number
like,
one.
Number one, the facial hair is like, I was growing so much facial hair in a month.
Right.
I can't keep going back and forth to the spot.
Right.
So it's
That's
it was the
expensive.
facial hair, yes. And then the mood swings. The mood
Okay.
swings were all over the place. The cramping, and then the no periods. Some days you'll have period. You can't really track your menses.
You're never
so
prepared.
You're never prepared for it. It'll come today. It'll spot tomorrow. But then 2-3 years will go by, no period. So those are some of the symptoms for PCOS.
So how is PCOS diagnosed by the doctor?
Well, when you go to a doctor, like for me, I'm going to speak for myself.
Okay.
When I went to the doctor, I was what led me to go to a doctor, I had a cyst
Okay.
size of a golf ball
Mm-hmm.
On your
that grew
ovaries?
from PCOS on my ovaries.
Okay.
Yes.
And it erupts.
Okay.
So when that happened, my doctor was like, yes, she has PCOS when they did an ultrasound. So actually getting an ultrasound of your ovaries, they can detect if you have PCOS.
Okay.
And then they can also draw blood. They
Okay.
can check your hemoglobin levels to see is it almost the same level as somebody who has diabetes.
That's what I was gonna
Because I assume my mom had PCOS. I saw a lot of signs growing up. And now she's type 2 diabetes. She's
Yes.
uncontrollable. So
Yes.
she has DM. She has diabetes mellitus type 2 for years now because she didn't, she don't know
Right.
any of this
But
thing.
she had PCOS.
Right?
And didn't even
All
know it.
along, right, and didn't get it
She
checked
just
out.
know tit.
That's all I see.
Yeah, so all she know is T, but getting diagnosed for me woke me up.
Yes.
I had to open my eyes and was like, okay, this is serious.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not just something I could just brush off.
Right.
This is something actually serious. So here am I researching PCOS, what it is, what do I have to do. I started to take my health more serious.
Okay. And you said that due to this, that you've had some miscarriages, correct?
Yes. So I had a total of 8 pregnancies from 16-year-old to 26. I had a stillborn when I was 16.
Oh, no.
Sorry
I'm
to
so
hear.
sorry.
And then I had another one 2 years ago. But between then, I had pregnancies where it was 10 weeks, 12 weeks. And one thing my doctor was saying is that because of my hormones level was all over the place, my progesterone levels couldn't keep the baby up. So that comes with PCOS. A lot of women that I've known or been part of groups with, their hormones levels affect their pregnancies. Yeah. Or getting pregnant,
Okay.
period. So even when there are a lot of women out there that are trying, but they don't know is PCOS might be holding them from conceiving.
Right.
Because you need that glucose level to be a certain amount. You need that estrogen level to be a certain amount,
level.
and then you need your progesterone level to be a certain amount. Estrogen gets you pregnant, progesterone helps
Keeps
you
you-
stay pregnant.
Isn't That sounds
So
nice.
those two things right there, you don't have them. They're not on the same level. They're not working together. Then, there's no baby.
Because this is something, I mean, the PCOS seems like it's something that we're not hearing a lot of, and now, for whatever reason, now all of a sudden we're hearing about it, but
Right.
we're getting a lot more information from you.
Yes, because a lot of doctors didn't know a lot about PCOS
Okay.
then.
Okay.
So now, instead of brushing it off, they're having a lot of clients, a lot of their patients come in and say, hey, I have these same symptoms as the last 20 patients. So now I have to do more research.
Right.
And now they're like, okay, more open about it, because I see PCOS all over Instagram now, all over Facebook.
It wasn't like that
It
before.
wasn't like that
Right.
before when I was 16 and I just became diagnosed with PCOS.
Right.
So now it's like I need to do more research. So now a lot of doctors now is going into the research and say, hey, you have PCOS, let's start treatment now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
My gosh.
You mentioned as a child you were abused. You mentioned PCOS. You mentioned 8 miscarriages that had to mess with you mentally. Can you
Yes.
tell me, did you experience any depression?
Oh. Depression is not even where it
Yes.
started off. So even I was in an abusive relationship before. I actually was admitted to Aspire Health
Okay.
back in 2012. 2012, 2013 time. I was suicidal, depressed.
Yes.
It gets me a lot. And while I was at Aspire, they put you in this room, and I was like, God, it's not for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Why are you putting me through so much?
Right.
And I could hear him say, if you change your life, once you get out, everything start over.
Okay.
Mind you, I'm homeless.
Yes.
I had to go live with a near relative because I came suicidal. So the health system, Orlando Health, was like, we need to a closer relative.
Right.
So I had to move out to Sanford with my uncle and my aunt.
Okay.
I was on suicidal watch all the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Became depressed, didn't want anything. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm moving. Let me go experience my college career on East Orlando.
Okay. Yes.
And my whole life changed.
Changed everything.
And I was like, I had to believe that what God was saying to me
That's right.
inside of Aspire Health
Right.
was true. So I followed his order and commands.
Oh, man, that's wonderful.
When I tell you my whole life changed, I was like, this cannot be real.
Right.
This
You
cannot
either
be
had
real.
to stay the way
Yeah.
you were in Aspire, or go ahead and
Or it
change.
changed.
Yes.
And even when I was down, some days I would get depressed.
Of course.
It was hard. I remember I was jobless, so I used to go to the blood bank and sell my plasma
Yes.
just to take the bus to school.
Yes.
And I became a medical assistant that
Yes.
year, 2014. And it
Congrats.
didn't stop there. And then I met my husband the same year. So everything just
Yes.
happened back to
Trickle
back.
effect.
And I was like, that
Thank
man
you,
up
God.
there.
Thank you, God.
I had to believe. And even now, after each time I'm thinking about, okay, my pregnancies and stuff, I get depressed.
Yes.
But I always think that it's just like he did it for me once.
Yes.
You'll do it
He'll
again.
keep doing
Of
it
course.
for
That's
me.
right.
Of course.
I just have to believe. And I can't just sit here and be like, oh, it's okay,
Right.
you know, God, I have to act. And they always say this, faith without work is dead.
Dead.
That's right.
So this is my word, researching.
Yes.
This is the word.
That's right.
Faith without work is dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Vanessa, did they place you on any type of medicine for your depression and your suicide?
Well, I wouldn't take them.
Okay. Okay.
So they gave me antidepressants.
Okay.
The first time I took it, I was so sleepy. I couldn't do anything.
You were like a zombie.
I was a zombie walking
Yes.
around.
Yes.
So I refused to take them.
Okay.
I didn't tell my doctor that though. So I never took any antidepressant medication after that one time.
Right.
And that was it. But I was hooked on hydrocodone for
Okay.
a while. I'm not a drug addict, but I was hooked on hydrocodone because the pain that I felt
Of course.
from the abuse, everything. So my
It went
body
away.
would ache and stuff like that. I felt like I needed that to cope, and I needed that to sleep. I needed that to
Yeah.
function
For everything.
until I went to Aspire and I got weaned off of it,
Okay.
and then everything became normal.
Oh, that's good.
That's why I'm scared sometimes to take. I was like,
Medication.
don't give me
Yes.
narcotic, don't give me no opioids, don't give me anything
Nothing.
that's strong,
Yes.
because I don't want to be dependent on
Of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You also had an abortion.
Yes.
You want to share that a little bit of that with us?
Yeah. So I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook Live with one of my friends, Fabiola, and we actually was talking about PCOS, and that was the first time I ever mentioned. My friends were texting me,
Like,
"Oh my God, when this happened?" And I've never been the type to judge what you do with yourself
Right,
and everything. Back in 2015, when me and my husband first met, mind you, I was coming out of an abusive relationship.
Yes.
I just left my home, so me and my ex-boyfriend, we got evicted. So they went in the home and they took everything. I had no clothes, no shoes, nothing.
Oh my
So I was afraid to tell him that this is a guy I just met. I can't be like, okay, so I have nowhere to go. I have no clothes.
You're running him away. You'll be running him away.
And then we did what we did, and I wound up pregnant. I was like, now I'm about to put a baby on you.
Oh.
And it was a tough decision to make that, God, I know you gave me this child, but the misery is just, I can't go backwards. So at that time, we made that decision together. Yeah.
And you feel like maybe that haunts you?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, I blame myself sometimes, like, why did you do that? But then again, I'm thinking about, oh my God, what my life would have been like.
Yes.
In that predicament.
At that
And we
time.
caught it early. We did it early,
Okay.
so it wasn't what I think
Yeah.
about it now.
Right.
But yeah, so
I understand.
yeah, I live with it every day.
Yeah, we understand. You know, that's
I
not
live with it
easy.
every day. Yeah, so I
But
know
God's gonna
it's-
bless
it's
you. You know that,
something-
right?
It's something that it's a controversy in America.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So that's why I was never able to like really open about it because it gets blown out of proportion.
course.
Here we are having a debate.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So I never opened up about it, and I kid you not, the first time I ever spoke about it was like a week ago.
weeks
Yeah,
ago,
when
yeah.
on the line.
But that's your personal. That's your
Yeah.
personal, and you spoke about it when you were ready to speak
Yeah, I'm
about
ready
it.
to speak about it, and it's been 5 years.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Most of the time we ask the woman how she's doing, but tell me, how has your husband handled all of this?
Whew.
Yeah.
My husband, Anslin, I love you. But my husband, he is, I don't know where he get his strength from. 'Cause,
Yes.
he is just supportive. And when I mean by supportive, I'm talking about when I come home, like even from school or I'm tired, he wash everything. He cleans everything. He'll cook. He'll do everything. And
wonderful.
then go to work on top of that. And then one day he broke down to me. He was like, no one really asked me how I'm doing. You know, the abortion affected him. The miscarriages affected him.
Of course.
Yeah, all the doctor's appointment, because when I'm taking all these hormones in, it changes me.
Yes.
Like, I remember Gabrielle Union was saying that her body became a prison. So did my body.
Yes.
It becomes a prison. So when he watched me days and days, day in, day out, tired, sleeping, crying behind closed door, it affects him as well.
Right.
Of course.
So I always tell him, but he's always praying. He always makes sure he opens up that Bible.
That's a
Even
good
when I'm
guy.
knocked out, and he prays over us.
That's nice.
Together. So spiritually, he's always there.
Awesome.
But I did tell him, like, we're going to start seeking counseling
Together.
together, so that way we can be there.
You can
Yeah.
heal. Both of you can heal.
Yeah, we both can heal.
Yeah, because you've been
together.
through a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's good.
Yes, he is.
That's
Yes.
good. We're glad to
for
hear
you.
that. Would you say that for the PCOS that there are some ethnicities that are more prone
Yes.
to that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
African American.
American.
And I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of African American,
Mm-hmm.
we like to eat a lot of carbs.
Yes.
PCOS feeds off sugar. So, therefore, we're more prone to PCOS because of the intake, the food that we're eating. So, a lot of carbs leads to a lot of, it plays with your hormones
Yes.
and different things. So, African America is more prone to PCOS than any other nation.
My
Any
goodness.
other. We don't eat a lot of vegetables.
Right.
The Chinese, they eat vegetables every
Every meal.
every meal. We have a lot of carbs. We eat the macaroni,
The bread, the rice, the
it's
macaroni.
so good.
It is.
But,
They turn into sugar.
it turns into
That's
sugar.
fat right there.
What can I do on my own to lessen my PCOS symptoms if I have them?
Okay, so some of the symptoms that my doctor recommended and then that I use is, number one, you don't have to use the medication if you don't. I personally follow doctor's orders.
Okay.
Now that I'm in the medical field.
Yes.
Back then I would.
I know.
But juicing, eating more vegetables, drinking that, giving your body that that vegetable, those nutrients that it needs.
Okay.
One thing that me and my husband do, we try to do every month is fast.
Okay.
Only because think about it like a drink. Your body is always eating.
Yes.
It doesn't have time to like stop and cleanse itself out.
Okay.
So doing that, lessen your sugar, your blood sugar, watching what you eat.
Okay.
Instead of eating a whole plate of rice, try a portion. So watch what you eat. And then take a 30-minute walk every day.
Okay.
So taking a 30-minute walk every day will help with your weight, as well as stress.
Okay.
Stress plays a big part of our lives, whether
Yes.
we know it or not. So lessen the stress.
Yes.
Yes.
Lessen the PCOS.
That's good.
Yeah.
We enjoyed your conversation
Thank
on
you.
Let's Talk About It
Yes.
about a week ago that you had. What is it, just because of the PCOS that you started that conversation, or was there another reason?
Well, no, it wasn't just the PCOS. It was actually infertility.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So infertility is one of the things that a lot of people do not like to talk about.
Right.
It's taboo. So me and Fabiola, she dealt with infertility as well.
Okay.
So we was like, okay, let's talk about it, because that's something that a lot of people, we don't like to talk about it. We'll have a miscarriage and we'll run under the, throw it under the rug, and then we'll move away from that. So yeah, infertility is the reason why we had let's talk about it.
That's good. You had a lot of people comment
Yes.
on that. You had a lot of viewers for that, because it is something that people do
Big,
not
big, big.
want to talk about.
Yes, infertility. I don't know if you want me to go into detail.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, with infertility, one thing I have experienced is that every time something is wrong, like let's say I had a miscarriage, we tend to, I tend to throw that miscarriage under the rug and not find out why.
Okay.
Okay, so why is this going on?
Right.
Even though I was insulin resistant, even though I had PCOS, hey, what's making me have these miscarriages? I need to know why. And then I wait for so long. I'll wait till I want to have a baby again to go find out. Instead of, okay, I have infertility. Okay, doc, what is it that I can do so that I cannot have another miscarriage again?
To avoid it.
Yes, I'll come back a year later and be like, okay, I'm ready again.
Right.
So that didn't work. That didn't work at all. So, but infertility is 1 in 4 women have dealt with infertility across America.
Yeah.
It's a big epidemic. It's everywhere.
Yes, it is.
There's no nation, no
Right.
color,
Right.
everybody. And I have a lot of resources from my research that I found out about infertility that will probably help someone out there tonight.
Yeah, so please contact Vanessa. You want to give us, tell the audience how they can contact you, they can reach you.
Well, you can contact me by Facebook, Vanessa Dejeuste. Instagram is the same outlet. You can email me, vgalett@gmail.com. That is my personal email. Those of you, and then I'll show my number, and then we could talk about the different resources that I have, and we could get into the infertility treatments and different things that I have researched and found out.
Okay, good. And you also have so much going on.
Yeah, we didn't mention it.
I want to hear some more about Just Juice Jars.
Just Juice Jars started off as a joke. Literally, my husband, so my mother-in-law bought this big machine that was like $400. And then my husband started juicing, and I was like, it really helped me. So I had a friend, Salinda, came over. She was like, this juice is really good. What do you pronounce it? Vegetables.
Right.
It's all vegetables. They are organic.
Natural.
Yes.
See, we use a specific type of juice,
Okay.
vegetables. We go to the farmer's market.
Okay.
We don't go to like fancy foods or Bravos. We make sure that they're organic and
Okay,
fresh.
yes.
So Just Juice Jars have all different type. Like we have the beet juice, It helps with
Oh, wow.
with your menstrual cycle.
Mhm.
Okay.
Vegetable juice, any cleansing. So the cleanser that I was talking about for PCOS,
Mhm.
those juice we dedicate those things for some of them for women's health and
Okay.
some of them for everybody's health.
Okay.
So that way you're getting the nutrients that you need. Even if you don't have time to go pass by McDonald's,
Right.
It's not good for you anyways.
I'll just open a jar, and we use the mason jar because it
Seals.
holds,
Yes.
it seals everything
All the
in, so
freshness.
it feels like it's fresh. You pop it open, and then
So
Okay.
where's
take a
our
sip.
Just Juice?
I got you. I'm gonna bring it.
Dream life.
You also have Dream Life events, Queen of Culture.
Yes.
Touch a little bit on that for us.
So Dream Life Events is my wedding event planning business.
Okay.
That I started about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was so into planning events.
Okay.
I planned my own wedding. Did the absolutely most, Jesus. But I said if I was going to go into this business, I need to learn the business.
Yes.
Okay.
So I took a course in California.
Okay.
So I became certified in California, and I've worked with David Totero.
You
All
go
right.
all in, don't you?
Yes, I work with Lee. I work with a lot of people in the industry.
Very good.
I just came from Chicago from working on different wedding setup floors.
Yeah. Some of that.
So I'm still learning. I'm
Yes.
still mastering my craft,
Mhm.
but that's my passion there.
Yes.
That's my Dream
your
Life
baby.
event. That's my baby. That is my baby. And we also have Queens of Coaching
Yes.
Incorporated. I am the founding mother of Queens of Coaching Incorporated. We actually have 2 chapters now. We
Okay.
have the Orlando chapter and we have the Tallahassee chapter of
Okay.
Queens of Coaching
All
Incorporated.
right.
Shout out to all my
Congrats.
queens. But Queens of Coaching Incorporated came about. I started with 6 founding sisters.
Okay.
So it was me and then it was 6 other young ladies who started Queens of Coaching Incorporated. And our mission is to inspire growth by empowering women of all backgrounds, not just
Okay.
Haitian women,
Right.
Okay.
through education, leadership, and service.
Okay.
So I took all the values, everything that I've learned
Mhm.
throughout my years, and I wanted to create an organization where it not only talks about women, Haitian women, but all cultures. So we learn about different cultures,
Okay.
their values, and everything else. And then if you see culture spelled with the K
Uh-huh.
and not the C,
That's
it's
right.
because we appreciate our men, and K is for king.
All right.
So
I like that.
the values that I take from my marriage,
Uh-huh.
instead of just thinking, oh, women this, women that, we support our kings
Oh,
as
that's
well.
awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good.
Queens of
You
Coaching
can't leave the kings
Incorporated.
out.
No.
Cannot leave the kings out.
We
Yeah.
also want to congratulate you for graduating from
you.
nursing school.
Yes.
We know there's more to come, but at least
Woo.
you've reached
Yes.
Yes.
a milestone.
Yes.
Nursing school. Wow. It's serious. I didn't understand the seriousness in nursing school and the discipline in nursing school. Even when I was going through, I will talk about my process that I had during nursing school.
Okay.
I was stressed out, crying. I had anxiety attacks,
Yes.
in and out of the hospital.
Yes.
And it was the school. It wasn't the school itself. It's the study.
Yes.
It's the
Oh, okay.
grasping
It's a
the
lot.
material. Like you're saving someone's life.
Yes.
I don't know about doctors, but nurses are
Yes.
unappreciated and unpaid.
Absolutely.
We love
Because
you.
the amount of things that they do, I
Yes,
mean,
they do. You have to have compassion,
you
though.
have to have-
Because there are
it's not
some
for
nurses
everyone.
No, it's
that
not
are
for
doing
everyone.
it,
Yes.
and sometimes it's just for the
Yes.
money. If you do not have compassion,
Don't get
that
in
is
the
not
field.
the field for you to get
Exactly.
into.
We started off with 22 students in my cohort,
Mhm.
and we graduated with 6
Ooh.
in my group that started
Okay.
with it. It's tough.
It is tough.
And if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Because I had so much going on,
Mhm.
but I got through nursing school. My friends, they encouraged me.
It's hard.
You know, I had to stop working for a whole year, so
Mhm.
it was hard on my husband to maintain everything on
Yeah.
his own.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, nursing, if that's where you want to be, that's your
Mhm.
you will do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, you will do it.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
tough.
Tell them how to contact you, Vanessa. with
Yes.
Candid.
One thing I wanted to talk about is during nursing school, I was
Okay.
going through infertility.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was going to backtrack to infertility.
Okay.
So I was going through my process of infertility, so I wanted to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried a IUI procedure, which is insemination.
Okay.
the doctor would take the sperm
Okay.
And
insert it in himself in the uterus. Our process, we had that process done in April.
Okay.
And the first time it didn't work.
Okay.
We paid thousands of dollars. But it didn't work, so I didn't lose hope, though.
Okay.
I didn't lose hope. So now we're in the process of IVF.
Okay.
Which is intro fertilization. I'm so excited because I found a doctor in New York for the cost is just phenomenal. He's very, 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 he's on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
CNY Fertility. All the time. He's always talking about it, getting clients, but the only thing is getting in because I've been on a waiting list since March.
Oh, wow.
And I just got in.
Congrats
Yes.
to you on that.
So we're excited. We want to expand our family.
That's
Yes.
right.
It's
Try
coming.
something new. Be
It's coming.
more open about different options because even before the IVF, we started our adoption option.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't understand adoption through the state of Florida, not private.
Okay.
We're talking about public adoption
Okay.
where we're taking kids out of the system
Okay.
to becoming family homes, good
I
family
see.
homes.
Right. There's so many of
Instead
them.
of the private where you paying thousands
Of course.
of dollars because those kids don't have families.
No.
Right.
So we didn't want the private adoption. We wanted to go public and
Good.
take those students. And I was like, well, I want a teenager. And I was like, Lord.
Are you sure?
I know when I
You
was a
ready for
teenager,
that?
I was like, I don't think I'm ready for a teenager. But it's good. And they give you so many options. There's kids are sick. They
Yes.
have disabilities.
That's
A
nice
lot
that
of kids
that
come
you
from
all are
troubled
thinking about that.
homes. Yeah. So even if IVF work or not,
Right.
we're still going to go through with our
You're
Very
still
good.
going to have a baby.
You have such a big heart.
Yeah. Still going to
Yes.
get back to
Yes.
at least 1 or 2 kids.
Yes. Thank you so
We
much.
want to thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here, Vanessa. We've come to the close of the show. Thank you so much. You have so much courage and strength.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
definitely a warrior.
No, thank you guys for creating this platform for us, not only black, all cultures,
Right.
and especially our Haitian women.
Yes.
Our health, we need to take that importance.
Yes.
And we have the platform. So share your story. I'm encouraging everybody out there to share your story.
Thank
You
you.
never know who can actually learn from
Yes.
you, who's impacting you. I'm pretty sure somebody probably DM you before asking for advice. So thank you, Muriel and Ruby, for having me tonight.
Thank you.
This has been amazing. I would never imagine me speaking about all this at once. Never, but
Thank you.
it's a blessing to be able to speak up so someone else could be blessed as
That's
well.
right.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you need any information regarding infertility, resources, different clinics out there in Orlando,
Yes.
or any of those information, please, please, please contact me.
Yes.
I'm an open book. I will guide you. I will give you all the resources that you need, so that way you can take care of your health and you can have your rainbow baby,
Yes.
or
That's right.
to just have that support group where you're dealing with everything. You're dealing with infertility, PCOS, or any of those issues. You have someone to talk to, or I can guide you to a support group.
Perfect.
So
Awesome.
contact me on Facebook, Instagram.
Thank you, Vanessa. We want to
Thank you guys.
We want to thank everyone for joining our show. We truly appreciate your support and all of your positive feedback regarding the show. Please tune in next Tuesday for another transformational journey from another guest right here from our community. In closing, polycystic ovary syndrome affects 1 in 10 women. It also affects the physical and the mental health in women. For those of you who are suffering with PCOS, every day is a fight, but never give up. You are not alone. The greatest wealth is our health. Thank you for tuning in for another Candid Conversation.
Bye.